Приветствую всех, меня зовут Виктор, и это Sedeus Games, и мы продолжаем проходить внешние миры. Поехали. Так. Что у нас тут есть? Что у нас тут? Лево, право, лево, право, лево, право. Давайте пойдем налево пока. Ты кто? Ты житель? Так, там какое-то здание, что-то тут. Житель, ты кто? Себастьян Адамс, ну-ка.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails?
Нет.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Ну вы хрень мне это говно. Алло.
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for Halcyon.
Это мы его музей
As my
видели.
dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Окей.
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there too. Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Ну и что? О, опухшие шишкача. О, опухоли шишкача. Так, базовый здоровье плюс 25, 280, шкура раптидона, кусок шкуры раптидона, покрыта блестящей чешуей. Ну нахера на мне. Так, продать хлам. Ну ладно, допустим так. Это сюда, что ли? Ты кто?
Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
Я чуть сомневаюсь, что это сын, скорее всего, это какая-нибудь собака.
Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it.
А, нет, сын,
And if
точно.
you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Ага, ну ладно. Так, тут что-нибудь стырить можно? Пусто. Замечательно. Так, ну это выход из города. Я еще не все.
Hold it right there. What do you think you're... Just don't make more paperwork for me, all right?
Пока они идут назад, можно стырить что-нибудь. Пусто. Так. Это кто?
Do your part to support the local economy. What can I get you?
А, это я
If you
говорил
don't
уже.
see it, I don't got it.
С это я уже говорил. Так, что тут у нас? Мешок. О, здесь что? Санжар Нанди. Силия Робинс.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here? What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom. Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those trends...
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes,
Yes.
it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Хорошая фраза, кстати, мне понравилась. Так.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Returning to the board is your only chance if you hope to survive here on Monarch. That doesn't mean it'll be easily achievable.
Indeed not. No worthwhile plan was ever simple. That's what I always say.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in
Что такое
Halcyon.
Болт 52?
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Документ?
An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
There's nothing the board likes so much as paperwork.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. So taciturn, so dour. I'll be waiting with bated breath. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the
Вот
wrong
это же
hands.
интересно. Тайны, тайны я люблю.
What
Так,
can I do for
ну-ка,
you?
что тут нас спросить можно? Инфоброкера.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But if you insist on going, I'd recommend taking a local guide.
If you can keep her sober.
I see. And was his delivery... Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for...
Так, ну тут как бы вопросы в
Then it's
прошлом.
good that I keep such...
Что, как вышло, что мы потеряла место в коллекте. Ну-ка.
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own... Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra... Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2. Many of us chose to stay behind. And as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. Indeed, we've got to consider realities, not ideals. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow... I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it. Monarch may be dangerous, but it's hardly the wasteland the board describes it to be. Whatever the board's goals, the greater good has little part in them. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him. I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you?
Так, а с тобой можно побеседовать? Ну-ка.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest... What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
И зачем тебе это?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like Saltuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Sorry, sometimes I get...
Че в этом мире, блин, никто не может друг друга пригласить на свидание, что ли? Где этот? Иди сюда. Я тебе сейчас тоже свиданку устрою.
You look like a man who's looking for some most... Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for raptidon tongues.
Oh.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
Слышь, подруга, я тебе тут свиданку устроил, все, иди.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet?
О, что так с больной полкой? А, точно.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago. Oh, have you talked to him? Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on. Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me... Anyhow, thank you.
Блин, сводник нафиг. Так, ладно, погнали дальше. Чем мы тут еще не видели? Так, тут все. Опа. Что это у нас такое тут? Мое.
Help! Someone's been killed!
Че?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Талмаджкер.
I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
А может это ты убил? Слышь? Пошел. Так, квартиры. Что-то стырить тут ничего не можно. Так, вот это, походу, вот эта квартира. Так, банкоматик. Ты не банкоматик, этот автоматик. Так, это я беру. И что такое? Мистер Кислота. Ближнего боя. Супер оптика. Блин, 3000 тратить. Как бы нифига не охота. Так, я так понимаю, ты труп? Взаимодействовать с ним нельзя. Ну ладно, я тогда просто ограблю здесь все. Бутылочка. Кому? Нади. Мистер Нанди, простите за беспокойство, но из апартаментов наверху сочится какая-то неприятная жидкость. Я не знаю, что Силия там держит, но она ведь работает на вас, так? Может, вы с ней поговорите? Кому? Пожалуйста, постарайся закрывать окна. Повторяю в 100-й раз. Оставляя их открытыми, особенно с едой на стене, ты приманиваешь жукорой, а жукорой доставляет проблемы всем. Бракстон, я знаю, что у тебя свободный график. Я это знаю, потому что слышу, как ты приходишь и уходишь в самое разное время дня и ночи. Ха-ха, но может попробуешь закрывать дверь потише? У меня очень чуткие нервы, и всякий раз, когда я слышу, как ты хлопаешь дверью, мне кажется, что у нас тут свой Эмбер Хайтс. Ну ладно, труп как труп. Лежит такой одинокий, никому не мешает. Воу!
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me. Was all.
Ra себе тут расколбасило. Это что, его голова лежит? А, нет, это ведро. Жертва. Так, ну тут все ограблю, конечно же. Жертва, не жертва, надо все собирать. Все это полезно. Так, что это у нас? А смотрите, квитанция на ставки на таксбол. Квитанция на все более смелые ставки на команду почти колонисты. Оформлена в букмекерской конторе «Левое поле». Кто-то выбил с него долги? И это правильно, кто-то что-то искал здесь. Ну-ка. Смотрите. Поспешно собранный чемодан. Несколько мятых костюмов одинакового покроя и цвета засунуты в чемодан. Окей. Поищите квартиру улики. То есть, ну я типа нашел улики какие-то, да? Окей, побежали. Пойдем на второй этаж сгоняем. Так. Тут... Опачки. А ты кто? Лаура. Так, заказ на доставку. Надо забросить гуманитарную помощь Меззерам в старые руины к югу от Стеллар Бейс. Скоро буду. Лаура, я знаю, что ты это читаешь. Хватит совать нос в мои дела. Слыхала, Лаура? А то там кто-то снизу куда-то сунулся, и все, и как карачун ему пришел.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Я пойду, отлично. Отлично получилась беседа у нас. Так, ну это апартаменты типа той бабюхи по всей, или нет? А чё они все какие-то странные лежат? Все полумертвые, что ли? И почему здесь ничего нету? Украсть ничего. А, не, смотри-ка ты. Это было, это было. Что такое? Ничего не было, ты чё? Да, все нормально, иди отсюда. Это правильно. Так, ладно, здесь ничего больше интересного нету. Убийство я типа расследовал. Так, ты кто? Ты просто житель. Это что такое у нас? О, еще один бар. Житель. Житель. Житель.
What do you think you're? Just don't make any trouble.
Ага. Так, что-то полезного есть. Пистолет Болтер, пистолет обычный, револьвер, обрез модификация 2. Штурмовая винтовка Остроглаз, Хаммерсит. Прицел в яблочко, наносимый послеброневой урон. Подожди, я же такой, у меня такая же херня есть. Ну. 288, уровень 16, 144, 198. О, так это слабее даже, чем моя. Смысла не вижу такой покупать. Так, шапки. Легкое оружие плюс... Кстати. Легкое оружие плюс 5. А интересно, это у меня легкое оружие или нет? Считается. Так, что у нас тут есть? Навыки дальнего боя. Крит урон. Рассеивание. Носительной брони шлемом плазменным урона. Ага, окей. Так, это я возьму. Так, ну тут больше ничего такого нету. Какой-то странный бар. Это кто? Эверетт Джилл. Окей. Шеф Реймонд.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Easy for you to say. You can hop into your spaceship and leave any time. This town is enough to try anyone's nerves.
That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years back, before the board tucked tail and ran. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna. They all want borscht. And the mushrooms, well, not many venture out. I can whip one up for you, but it'll cost. Here's a menu.
Oh, yikes. I can't cover this much, Captain.
М. 55 запугиванием.
Sure, just let me know. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rats spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying. Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy. I could do with a few kilometers of cold vacuum, but that spaceship is flown. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then? Well, thank you for reminding me. As if I weren't already destined for an early grave.
Так,
Lucky you.
3 косаря тратить на запеканку, что-то как-то мне запугивать не надо. Так, братан, ты кто? Просто никто. 3000, хера себе, 3000 это много. Это я возьму, это я тоже возьму. О, закрыто. Не для меня. Вихревая булава. Так, ну всяких штуковин я понабрал. Так, и у тебя тут еще комната есть, да? Ага, это сортир. Ладно, так, 3000, не 3000 до хера. Так, а сколько мне надо? До уровня мне осталось немного. Так, это я оттуда пришел. Сюда я шел, да? Что это такое? Что это за звуки? Так, ну это выход. На выход мне как бы не надо. А, не, подожди, это не то. Я думаю, это где бабку мы встретим. Что-то я уже запутался в этом городе. Так, где еще не было? Там что-нибудь есть? Нет, там нифига нет. А там? Констебль. А чё? О. Это я возьму. Это я тоже возьму. Здесь нифига нету. Что-то как-то пустовато здесь. Что это? Left field, Dustball beating. Ну-ка. Так, как туда зайти, чтобы она меня не запалила? А чё там ничего нету? И здесь ничего нету. Блин, какие-то вы днища, ребят. Так, подруга. Оп.
What do you think you're doing?
Все нормально.
Ooh,
you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games.
Нет.
So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths.
Ну. За дорогую тетю Клео, вы что, меня не узнаете?
Everyone needs a good diversion. That's what keeps you from thinking about the marauders outside town. Tossball's just about the only good news we get around here. When our frequency's not too clogged up anyway. So, what can I do for you? Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink Purpleberry Punch by the liter. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Но они обречены. Хе-хе. Так, ладно, это все, конечно, интересно. Так, это что такое? О, ну-ка, ну-ка. А, он, блин. А что здесь все пусто нафиг? Все пусто, пусто, пусто. Так, это житель... Это что?
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brax missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by anytime you like. Hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Так, ты кто?
Sorry, I've got to get back to the warehouse.
Да, ну ладно. Так, ну это по идее местный аптекарь. Сейчас мы тут у него все затырим. Так, в сортире ничего нет. Все, что есть, украдем, короче. Ой, закрыто. Понял. Так, это я возьму, это я возьму. Это я почитаю. Логин сотрудника. Так, введите назначение вам учетные данные, если вы забыли назначение ТТТ. Взлом. Оба! Добро пожаловать, Уильямс. Пожалуйста, выберите интересующий вас пункт. Данные по пациентам. Так, Неока. Неока, равнорим, Уэтвод 3. Дозировка кофеина стандартная. Заметки медицинского инженера. Нарушены функции печени, вероятный результат алкоголизма. Повышенная наглость, вероятный результат алкоголизма. Склонность к изоляции от общества, вероятно, результат алкоголизма. Как интересно. Чё? А как это я у них оказался в базе данных, когда я еще ничего не делал? Так, Улим. Эксперимент проведен доктором Уильямсом. Заметки реактицизм и перчинки. По моему предложению, такое сочетание препаратов должно было раскрыть мой разум и чувство, помочь мне восприять иные реальности. Если это и произошло, мое тело не вынесло нагрузки. Вскоре после приема рассчитанной дозы у меня выступил холодный пот, начался требор и легкая паранойя. Сделанные во время приступа записи едва ли могут оказаться полезными. Вероятно, в этом виновен как раз последний фактор. Тем не менее, в целом препараты оказали на меня самое живительное действие. Нужно будет попробовать снизить дозу, когда прекратится сердцебиение. Заметки. Ягодный экстракт плюс дебилерон. После уже проведенных экспериментов у меня появилось предположение, что заглянуть в вечность можно на время, лишив себя восприятия внешней реальности. Увы, успех был лишь частичным. Выбранная комбинация препаратов быстро лишила меня зрения и сил. Слабость быстро довела меня до ступора. Очнуться мне пришлось в луже собственной блевотины, причем мне сильно хотелось тили-чипсов. Прикольно. Тройная доза каустолерета. Пусто. Так. Личные файлы. Эдвардс. Проект. Так, это долго читать. Ой, какая-то, короче, историю какую-то пишет. Типа глава 2. 3. Кому интересно, почитает. Так, здесь больше ничего нет. Ну, я прям потрещим с ней.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Подкатываешь, бабуля?
What can Auntie Abigail do for you? She works over at the fishery next door. Quite the hard worker, but she's got a bit of a temper.
Пылка?
Why, just the other day, I heard her shouting from here. I can't imagine what set her off. Oh, but here I go again, running my mouth when it's none of my business. Was there something else you needed? Yes, indeed. Someone's got to keep Stella Bay's people healthy and energized. Oh, but I am. I get to see plenty of my neighbors here, and I do dearly love a little gossip.
А, ну я уже стырил просто лекарства. Как бы диалог бы состоялся, если бы я их не спер. Так, это черти. Там я был? Че, запутался, где я был, где я не был. Так, ну-ка. Так, значит, здесь быстрый, безнадежный. Ага. Здесь я вышел, по-моему. Вот сюда я пошел. Торговый центр Дзен. А, да, это вот здесь торговый. Здесь этот чувак, который продает мясо. Так, подожди, вот здесь еще не было. Что это такое? Склад какой-то, да? А, это вот этот он. По-моему, мне туда и нужно. Так. Бочки.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for wrapped musk.
Bet they also pay to make it stink less.
Supposedly, it makes you more attractive for, you know.
Trust me, no one's going near you like this.
Так, ладно. Целая серия уходит на изучение города. Походу, еще придется изучать его. Мы пока серию закончим. В следующей серии уже пойдем что-нибудь делать поактивнее. Не забывайте подписываться на канал, если вы еще не подписаны по каким-то причинам. Комментируйте видео, задавайте вопросы. А на этом все. Всем до встречи. Всем пока.